Welcome to Raleigh, where there are 1,000 of fried food, bars, and beer places, but nothing else to do in the entire city unless you're and I'll let you fill in the blank. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what I mean. Now, if you're new to me in this YouTube channel, we talk about everything you need to know about Raleigh, North Carolina here. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out. But also, I am a licensed realtor here, so if you do need any assistance with your relocation needs, just reach out. And something to add to this before I go into the details of what exactly is missing in Raleigh, North Carolina, I do want to point out that thanks to Raleigh Magazine, they actually made a post, and this is all from the locals that I will be sharing with you guys, and also adding my own commentary here and there. But for the most part, these are all coming from locals, so you're not just hearing from me. You're going to hear from individuals who live here, who breathe, eat, sleep, whatever they do here, to see exactly how do they feel about Raleigh, North Carolina. And to kick things off, one of the topics that I've spoken about even in my videos in the past is the public transportation. This was a comment that was made so many times. A lot of individuals agreed, and in fact, let me add this to it: reliable public transportation. Because yes, public transportation already exists here. It's just not what it could be or what it should be, especially when you're anticipating an influx of individuals. I would hope that they would have a little bit something better, something like maybe a metro, subway, a light trail, something of that nature would, I would hope, be in the plans, but it's nothing here now. But that was something that was mentioned, and I wholeheartedly agree with it, because if you could connect Raleigh to all the suburbs, Cary, Apex, Mooresville, Holly Springs, Fuquay Varina, Wake Forest, if you can have something of that nature be connected, then that way it's going to alleviate on the traffic and of course the commute times of a lot of individuals who have to go in and out of Raleigh. You add something of that nature, I mean, yes, this entire area would really explode. But to add on to the public transportation piece, specifically about airplanes, there was a comment that was made that said more non-stop international flights. So, I mean, that speaks for itself. At least you guys know now where does Raleigh stand in terms of their accessibility to get to one place to another relatively quickly with non-stop. So I'll leave that the way it is. And now moving on, let's talk about what I think is one of the most important pieces to you to understanding what Raleigh is all about, which is the local perspective. Now I'm going to read off a few comments and things like that that I did see and I took a note of. So I'll do that just to kind of give you an idea, and I'll add my own commentary. But one of it is the charm that it once had. Now, again, I don't really know what the charm looked like before because I only moved here 5 years ago. So whatever that charm looked like, it seems like it's leaving. And I could see that because you have a ton of individuals coming in from different states that are relocating here for several different reasons. But to add on to that, another comment was made is a clear 5-year plan to keep Raleigh, whatever that means. But also, I think it would really means by that is Raleigh not being an overgrown plot of land with tall, empty buildings that people cannot afford. So it's a lot of affordability that you're going to hear, I think, throughout this entire video, as well as just kind of add on to that. But then also, again, the identity piece. So it's like Raleigh is just, you know, what is Raleigh? You know, that's the question I think that a lot of people were kind of getting out of this and not really able to put a what is Raleigh, what does it stand for, what does it mean, or whatever the case it is. So it's, you know, just that aspect of it is being lost in the midst of transformation. And I think that's what is really going on. But here's another cool thing I saw that I think it would be pretty dope if this was here, which is a central downtown location, right, for everybody. So it's like not everybody is in Raleigh, Cary, Apex, Mooresville. You know, they all essentially have their own downtown. But if you had one in Raleigh, and in fact, if you would have something that attracts visitors to go to check out, maybe it's like a river walk, a large park, which, I mean, there's a ton of parks in Raleigh, so but something more pleasant to go and actually want to go see it, because there's parks, there's museums, there's murals. I mean, you have it all, but it's like when you're coming to Raleigh, what must you see? That right there, 110% is missing. It's just not here yet. But I think a body of water or something, a river, a lake, something of that nature being close will really help, because again, being 2 hours from the beach, you miss out on that water aspect without a doubt. You have a few lakes and rivers you can go to, but there's really nothing in the Raleigh area. And then as I look at the list again, you know, there's still a lot of conversation about, you know, missing out on the old Raleigh, what that feels like. You also, again, another thought about the affordability being an issue. And surprisingly, someone mentioned more jazz spots. I saw that come up so many times on the list. I was like, wow, there's I guess a really big presence for jazz lovers here. Something I did miss out on to add on to the transportation aspect. It says lights on the highways and streets, so I guess it's a little bit dark and dangerous to drive on the highway. Which again, this entire area is going through transformation, so I'm sure these are little things that will get repaired and fixed throughout time. But right now, this is just the pain that a lot of people are going through. And I don't know if you remember, but I did mention earlier in the video that yes, this is an area with fried food, bars, and beer places all over. So someone actually mentioned, hey, let's actually grow Raleigh not around the foods and the bars. Let's actually build it around a diverse, robust food scenery, so that we can have more, obviously, to do. And yeah, and I'll speak on this a little bit more because I have a personal story about this in my experience when I had a culture shock, and I was just like, man, this is, yeah, we'll get there. And then we have stop building homes and houses jam-packed near each other. I wanted to add on to this, the thing that Raleigh needs help with a lot is identifying, where else to really build. There's just, land is not something you can just create out of thin air. So obviously they are having no choice but to put a lot of parcels or even homes near each other so that they can obviously maximize the land that they have. So honestly, I think Raleigh's just going to become more dense and dense as time goes on and as more people relocate and as they continue to find more things to implement. So this here, I don't know. I'm going to say, I think it's just something we're going to have to deal with. Or if you don't like it, maybe you separate yourself from that density of Raleigh living. But as I explore a little bit further with you guys, I'm going to share with you guys a story, an untold story, in fact, I think that would really make Raleigh complete, which is the culture, diversity, and inclusion. So what I mean by that is, and I saw this comment, I was like, right on, this person has it spot on exactly what is missing, which is, if you go to, only place I could think of right now is New York, right? Chinatown. You go to Italy, you have a Chinatown, you have Italy, you have those sort of culture identities in specific areas where you can find it and you can get that feel of it. Here in Raleigh, there's just a lackluster of it. And I'm going to speak on my personal experience. Again, for those that do know, I come from a Haitian family. So, Haitian food is a big thing in my culture, obviously. That is something that when I got to North Carolina, I was searching and I was looking and I was like, where is it? It is just completely missing. Now that is just on that scene, it's missing. Now I do see a little bit cultures here and there of different cultures that have those type of foods, or just foods in general, different type of foods. However, the Caribbean, I will say it's very few, right? It's not as often, it's not as common to see. So definitely keep that in mind when it comes to culture and diversity and inclusion, especially if you need, those type of sceneries or that scene near you. Now, I personally could be missing out on something that I just don't know. So if you do know something I don't know, please share it with me. But if you do have any additional questions about Raleigh and the area, you see that number that is popping up right there. Make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember one thing. I got your back in this market. However, Raleigh is not all about the local perspective or even public transportation. It's more or less about what you're going to get out of the community in itself right now if you were to get on the ground, which is now the community engagement. Again, I'm going to go ahead and read off of some of the things here. One of the top ones that I think is a major sports team, right? There is hockey, that does get packed up, but besides hockey, there's really nothing else other than college sports that you have. So I think a lot of individuals agree, like a professional sports teams, preferably it was baseball that was mentioned a lot. So that is something to definitely keep in mind. But it seems like there's a lackluster of, community spaces where people can just come and get together, which I don't know. I personally think that it's there. Do what you love and you'll find the people that love what you also love. And then from there, you can connect relatively easy. But I think that unless someone's referring to just more and more of just being able to go out to a certain area and just find a bunch of people, and I don't know. I'm just going to leave that what it is. But a park like Cary, so I don't know if you guys know, but Cary just developed this nice downtown park, which I think would really help if Raleigh had something of that nature or similar, because it's really nice. It gives a lot of things for adults, the kids to do, or just even if you want to go on a stroll. so you have that accessibility. But something that also was just recently announced, which is they having a pickleball court. So I guess pickleball is that big. I have not a big deflect on that one, but it's more or less like, okay, well, pickleball is great, but there's also a need for basketball courts, which the community centers do have. It's just most times they don't just open it up to the public. So something of that would have been really nice, but instead pickleball was the choice, which is completely fine. But moving on, another one was a diverse live music scene, which happens. I could see it happening more in the summer, in the springtime, when it does get nicer. You have the outdoor events where you'll have plenty of music festivals and things like that to go to. But I think this individual was more saying like smaller venues, not ran by, you know, large corporations, that can have these sort of events. And I don't, honestly, I could see it really happening. There's a lot more acts coming into Raleigh, more than I've seen in the past 5 years. So that is something to look forward to. Maybe it's not happening now, so that is something. But this one here, this really struck a chord, because late night foods, man, everything in Raleigh essentially just consider it shut down by 11 p.m. Right? Just after that, all it is really just partying. You may have a few food spots available, but for the most part, it's just partying. It's bars. It's, you know, some food spots here and there that you'll find, but just consider the entire city just shut down, especially after 2 a.m. So imagine having a food place that is open late night for whatever you're doing, that you're out that late. That would be nice, right? It gives those individuals an opportunity to go out and go continue their night and eat, to do that. But even if you're not going out to eat, you just get home late, you just need a quick snack or something, you know, that's when it really becomes helpful. Because I was used to that in Connecticut, and, you know, coming here and everything shut down, it's like, man, everybody's sleeping already. And then this is a personal one, but I'm a big amusement park guy. So if I ever want to go to amusement park, I have to go all the way to Charlotte. So it would be really nice to have one nearby. Also, aquarium, that's something that doesn't really exist here. I believe there's like 1 hour and a half or so away from here. So again, if you don't want to do the drive, you know, having one nearby would be really cool. But this is a piece here. I was actually speaking to a client, and it was brought to my attention because I'm not really big into shopping. In fact, I don't really do too much of luxury shopping, but it was brought to my attention. I was like, man, there's a really large, lackluster presence of luxury shopping. So if you're a big luxury person, I mean, your best bet may be being in that North Raleigh, specifically North Hills. You may find it more and more there. But in the downtown Raleigh area, man, is there a lack of a presence there? And I was mind blown. Like, you know, to not have certain stores, I was just like, I don't know what's the guide here. Because it really does seem like Raleigh is focused, but a little bit too much on short-term gains rather than the long-term investment in the gain that everybody will be reaping the rewards of. Because it's clear that there's still room for growth and opportunity and change. So what are your thoughts in general? What do you believe that Raleigh is missing? Let's hear it in the comments below. Because just as much as I enjoy making these videos for you guys, my name is Roney Polynice, and I am a licensed realtor here, and would love nothing more but the opportunity to be able to assist you with your relocation needs. So you see that number that is popping up right there? Make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember one thing: I got your back in this market.